3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
What is today, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Already?
Yes.
I was
job.
I was just thinking, and there's a lot of people in Florida on spring break.
Not us.
You already had your spring break at Disney World
Yeah.
prior to the knee thing.
Woohoo.
Yes. Good luck with your spring break, spring breakers. It's Mike and John Got It Going On, brought to you by Jordan Genso, official Giggle Realtor. Coming up on the show today, we have a new script, don't we?
We do.
We have a new script we're going to debut for
Right,
you. This was handwritten with care,
Sure it was.
right?
Sure.
3 or 4 copies. It was like, nah, that's not going to work. Crumble that up.
Right.
Oop, that was today's show.
Hey.
I guess we're done. Also coming up today, we'll see if we got a winner in last night's Tuesday night trivia. Our 2-cent history lesson coming up.
We'll update you on Justice for Pearl. If you remember last year, we talked with Letitia Spagnolo about her dog Pearl, who was tragically mauled to death by 2 other dogs, and she's continued her legal fight about that, and so we're going to talk to her. And yesterday in court, Tuesday in court, she was able to get a little bit of justice. So we'll find out. We'll talk more with her about that.
We got all the details. Also coming up, the latest in local news, of course, brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. Here's what's going on.
Oh, wow.
And around.
Is it going around?
I don't know. It's contagious.
I don't know if I want it. Well, I'll tell you what is contagious, and that's construction in downtown Brighton. Commuters through downtown Brighton being reminded there'll be multiple lane closures on Grand River and East Main Street Wednesday. The outside lane of East southbound Grand River between St. Paul and North Street, as well as the outside lane of West and northbound Grand River between North and Main Street, will be closed for the day. There'll also be no left turn from southbound Grand River onto East Main Street. Also, westbound East Main Street, that's not confusing.
I'm not confused at all.
Will only allow for right turns onto Grand River. All through traffic will need to follow the posted detour to East Street. The bottom line here is it's
a mess.
It's a mess.
Park at CVS and walk around.
Right, so there's a lot of stuff going on, as there has been, and there will continue to be. But of course, for the businesses in downtown Brighton, they are constantly reminding you, hey, we are open, and hopefully, if people can navigate around this, to come and patronize those stores as well.
Well, we had a hovercraft.
And that's true.
We could drop you off at stores.
Wow.
It'd be a hover and shop.
Hover Uber, Uber. No.
Over Uber.
Over Uber.
Uber hover.
Sure.
Hover over. There.
All right. A successful prescribed burn was performed Tuesday at the Kellogg Family Nature Preserve in Osceola Township. According to the Livingston Land Conservancy, the burn was initiated in order to kill off non-native plants, enrich the soil, and encourage growth of the native vegetation that are burn dependent. Officials say the next step is to mow the top-killed multiflora rose shrubs to get back more of the open space and then see what will grow back this spring. They add that eventually a mowed walking trail will be planned for public access. And finally, La Casa Center's Child Abuse Prevention Council will recognize National Child Abuse Prevention Month in April by incorporating blue and silver pinwheel gardens throughout Livingston County to raise awareness about child abuse prevention. The CAP Council invites community members to display pinwheel gardens in April and to attend a Plant a Pinwheel celebration. That'll be held at the Hal Carnegie District Library Wednesday, April 5th at noon. Blue pinwheels are the national symbol for child abuse prevention. They represent a carefree childhood and symbolize the hope and promise that every child deserves to be raised in a healthy, safe, and nurturing environment. Pinwheel garden kits and pinwheel-themed items will be available at the La Casa Collection, La Casa's charity resale boutique, starting right around now and running throughout April. Supplies as long as supplies last there. All the proceeds will support the CAP Council's community-wide child abuse education and prevention programs, and you'll find more details on our website, mikeandjohnpodcast.com. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton. And yes, they are open during construction. Stop by and see them today. They have a commitment to customer service, community involvement, honesty, professionalism, and of course, exquisite merchandise. If you're thinking of guys dropping down to one knee making that proposal, stop by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. They can help you out. Mark and Barb Binkley pride themselves on offering something for everyone. They recognize that customer satisfaction is the sole purpose of their business. They offer a unique mix of exceptional quality jewelry and value in a very warm and engaging setting. So stop by and see them today. They'll custom design jewelry for you. They'll reimagine antique jewelry or family heirloom for you. Or you can get the latest designs from Simon G. or Zagani. Cooper and Binkley Jewelers on Main Street in downtown Brighton. Your first and last stop for that perfect gift, that one-of-a-kind item. Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton, and on Facebook, also online, cooperandbinkleyjewelers.com. Last night in trivia, we were talking about couples, married couples.
We were?
Did you see the question?
I did.
Did you come up with an answer for the question?
I did, because you sent it to me.
See, this time I sent it to you. See, I was on it. According to surveys, and trivia, by the way, brought to you by our OG sponsor, Firehouse Doors, serving Livingston County for over 25 years with unparalleled products and service. According to surveys, not just one, many surveys.
Multiple surveys.
It was a lot of work going through these surveys.
Well, yeah, it was.
Doing the math, too. 1 in 4 married women said they aren't pleased with this. and the answers were
A lot of potential answers here.
there were. And this is going to relate back to a few things once we tell you what the real answer is, or the right answer.
Did we? I didn't see a winner.
We did not get a winner last night.
Laura said they're husbands' friends.
I'm not pleased with your friends, honey.
There was a time when we were told we could not play together.
And look at us now. We're just contained.
Bad influence.
Yeah, you were a bad influence on me.
You were a bad influence on me.
I think it was you.
Yeah.
The division of household chores. The chores thing came in for quite a few of the guesses, whether it was, the dishes or laundry, those kind of things.
Sandra just got right down to it and said, their husband.
Just not pleased with
just not pleased with the whole thing.
You looked like you had potential. Bad choice on my part.
Well, sorry about your choices, man.
Closet space.
Right. Always a conversation. I mean, well, not always. You're right. At a certain point, men just have to just recognize.
Here's the thing: I have more drawer space than closet space, so that just means more folding.
Well, you can just stuff it in there.
And shove it in. Yeah, strings for my shorts hanging out outside the drawer. Never a good look. Their spending habits, house size, said Andrew.
Right.
Not pleased with the house size.
Tanya said how much or little their spouse helps out.
Brandon said,
uh-oh.
Wait for it. Their sex life.
Well, yeah.
So I'm not pleased with that. Jeff said the dog. No help in cooking meals, said Karen. Yeah. That was a good guess, too.
Andrew said size. I mean, house size.
House size. I said house size. Yeah, I gave that one. Okay. James said their figure. Their husband's figure. You're not as svelte as you used to be.
What are you talking about there?
That's bought and paid for.
The dad bod's in now. Isn't it?
It can't get out. That's the problem. It might be in, but it can't get out. It is trouble. It is tough. You get into the kid when you have kids. The dad bod kind of takes over, doesn't it? No right answer, but we will reveal the correct answer at the end of today's show. No, I'm just kidding. The right answer was
yes.
The way he proposed.
Right.
The way he proposed.
So
you know what? If he didn't like it, you should have said yes.
I mean, does that really? I guess I was surprised by the answer.
Yeah, like they weren't pleased with the.
What does
the
it
way,
matter?
Well, Susie's husband, the way he did it, got an airplane and flew the proposal, or a jumbotron, or whatever it was.
How much of that is our real examples, or they start watching those Hallmark movies? And then they're like, "Oh, how come you didn't?
You didn't wait till it snowed. And
Right. How come you didn't get down on one knee as the snowflakes started to fall on Christmas Eve?
Or it was raining.
You know, right.
So no, the way they proposed
Right.
was the correct answer. So no winner last night. We will tell you that tonight's trivia, Wednesday night trivia, we will have a prize up for grabs, courtesy of our friends at Firehouse Doors.
Okay.
Because they are the OG sponsor.
They are the OG
Here at Mike and
sponsors.
John got it
And
going
we
on.
appreciate their support.
You know, and that leads us to our new copy,
Yes, it
our
does.
new ad copy,
Yes,
written
it
by
does.
our team of ad
Oh,
writers.
God, yes.
So this is basically
It's time to bed.
our PBS moment. The snorts aren't a part of the
I'm
copy.
sorry.
Come on.
Yes.
Our writers spend hours editing
Yeah. Oh, God.
and getting this just
you
right.
can imagine.
You know what? You're the professional news reader, so
Oh.
you go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I'll do this in like a Liam Neeson voice.
Okay. You want to translate for me?
It's time.
Okay. Well, basically, look, for us
That's
to
not
do,
how it started.
Well, I'm not
Be a
reading
little
it
more
word for
sincere.
word.
Oh,
I'm
you're going to
talking
act it out.
from the heart.
Okay, from the heart.
Is it, wait. I don't know where the hell it is.
I don't think you have a heart.
It's somewhere in it.
That was 2 out of 4.
No, here's the thing. For the Gigo Enterprise, when you think back how we started this, more than a year ago, and we just were 2 idiots in a basement.
We're still there now.
Well, yeah, shut up.
Way to sell it.
And look, we've expanded out. We have a website now. We're providing daily news content.
We have a newsletter, too.
Yeah, we have a newsletter that we send out. And, this takes resources and to keep this up and running. And, we've been so blessed to have such great advertisers that have joined us and made a lot of this possible. But really, we want to keep growing Gigo and keep it running and moving forward. So we're looking to you. We're asking for your help to make that happen. We're an independent podcast. We rely on the support of, again, our wonderful advertisers.
And we want to encourage you to support those advertisers.
Absolutely.
Whether it's something you can use or something your family or friends can use, whether it's something from Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, garage door repair, or even pool maintenance and repair with Romans Pools. If you can put them on your list of references or places to go and show your support for them because they support us.
Right. What we need you to do, or what we would like you to do, for those folks that enjoy what they get out of this. If they enjoy the podcast, they enjoy the trivia, they enjoy the daily news content.
Wait a minute. You
all
said
of this
some
put
really nice
together.
things about my trivia before in the
I'm
original
sorry.
copy.
Yes.
Can you go back to that?
Okay, you want me to get that in there
Wasn't
word for
it?
word?
Well, something. You said
Okay.
something pretty nice, and you don't do that very
Well, that's why I
often.
forgot about it.
Wasn't it engaging and heartwarming and laughter?
yeah.
There was some fun element to it. That I was like, hey, that was pretty nice
I
of
don't
you.
know,
but-
some crap like that, I
Yeah.
suppose.
there's the updated one. Let's
yeah.
go to the original.
So, but what we're really asking you to do is help us sort of meet some new goals to expand and keep moving, and help us with covering Livingston County in a way that you've appreciated. So, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. Number one, spread the word. Share our episodes on social media. Tell your friends and family about us. Help us reach a wider audience. Like Mike was talking about, the other thing you can do is let our advertisers know that you appreciate their support of Mike and John Got It Going On. Tell them you heard about their business here on the podcast. And if you can, patronize those businesses. They're all local businesses. The money that you spend there, that's going to stay right in our community. And that's another way you can do it. And then a third way, and this is where we're looking for some help here, is to maybe make a donation for Gigo.
If you don't have a business, you can always contribute early on. A lot of folks hit up Venmo. Those types of ways of contributions are great.
Right.
You can just drop off a check or donate a car. We'd like a Gigo-mobile.
No, but I think we've heard from so many people, and we already have a couple of folks who are making regular donations through Venmo to Gigo, and they've just basically said, "Look, I like what you do. I want to support it. This is my way to help." And we're hoping that maybe more people could see that because, again, the resources that to keep this all up and running, to keep the website going, to bring the content that you've come to to enjoy. We just employed, Leah Craig as a reporter for us. She interned with us, and she's done such a great job. And so we were able to bring her on now to cover events for us, and people have appreciated her coverage. We have Rich Perlberg, who's providing us weekly commentary. And he's, also, of course, the less you know, and we'll be talking with him tomorrow. And so everything that people have come to and enjoy is something that, we're hoping to be able to continue. And so we're hoping that you will maybe, if you can, step up, make a one-time donation if you can through our Venmo, or even if you're so willing to make, say, a monthly contribution, something that sort of an ongoing contribution. It's whatever you can do, because all of that really helps. And we just like you to consider supporting us.
John needs a new cane.
That's right.
What it comes down to.
The stress levels on this cane have been amazing.
He'd like something a little bit more like made out of oak.
Right. If we keep making this pitch and then suddenly we show up with like swagger sticks and driving Cadillacs, that's
He'd
not
be walking
go.
in like John Cuter. We know you have vehicles that you like to donate to people. We're like a Gigo-mobile.
So all seriousness, though, we just appreciate your support and hope that you can help us sort of expand Gigo. We're really looking to reach some goals this year. We want to be able to bring on more guests, focus more on community events and personalities and things like that to the best that we can, and sort of just keep expanding this and make it go. We're in a weird time media-wise. Legacy media is falling off. More people are finding different ways to learn about the communities that they live in or the topics or things that they're interested in. And so podcasts like this have become a way for people to sort of access that, in a way to kind of ignore the gatekeepers, the legacy media that has been around.
It's more economical to advertise on a podcast than it is on
that's
certain
the thing.
media.
I think for advertisers, a lot of them who are, they're paying legacy media prices to try and get their message across. And they're really paying for a era that has passed, and so we're really hoping that we can get across that. Mike and John got it going on, and the Gigo LLC Enterprises is something that's a little bit more affordable, and I think also more effective at reaching advertisers. So thank you. We appreciate all your support, and I believe
we have a guest to get on.
I believe the begging is over.
Yeah, are you done begging?
Are you done begging? I had to do all the begging. You didn't do anything. You're just sitting back going, just throw the dollars at me and let him beg. So
that's what I do.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you. We appreciate your support.
You know what? You make a pretty good beggar.
I do.
You do.
Yeah.
You're a vagabond.
I'm a what now?
A vagabond.
What'd you call me?
You heard me.
Okay.
You know what I need, though, is I need the number for our guest. You were talking about our guest that we want to have guests on.
Well, why aren't you prepared?
I wrote it down there. Yeah. Letitia's number.
Yeah. There it is, right there.
Oh, you want me to stall a little bit? Maybe you could beg some more.
You want me to dial it?
Yeah, go ahead and do that, and then we can get Letitia on. Of course, we can get an update on the Justice for Pearl. Right. Why are you switching phones?
Because I'm going to dial it.
You could just dial it on my phone. See, this is why we need a producer on this show. Besides the writers.
All right.
You have a loud ring.
Hello.
Hi, Letitia. It's Mike and John from Mike and John Got It Going On.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today?
Ooh, gentleman, John.
Oh, wow. That's
a lot. We've gone up from beggars to gentlemen. So we understand. We see a little justice anyway for Pearl.
Yes, we've gotten a little bit of justice from Pearl because after we last spoke, as we spoke about before, the prosecutor declined to press charges against the dog owners.
Yeah, and we should
let's update people. If you remember, we spoke with you last summer. Your dog Pearl. And we have a picture of Pearl up on the screen right now. A beautiful animal. It was just tragically killed by these two neighbor dogs, correct?
Correct. One actually got into the fence. Two neighbor dogs were loose, and they had actually been chasing children. And the dog that killed Pearl, I had talked to one of the neighbors after this had happened, and he had almost gotten her 2-year-old grandson before he hopped into my fence.
And obviously at the time, like we said, such a tragedy to have occur, and you were in shock, but also anger.
Yes.
That this was allowed to happen, and then anger that you couldn't seem to get the justice system to move on this.
Yes, that is correct, because it was like at that point in time they declined to press misdemeanor charge, any criminal charges at all. The Fowlerville police did submit them, but the prosecutor declined to do anything more than what they had with the civil, which basically means you got a $50 ticket for what happened.
Right.
So that left me having to file a civil case, which no lawyer is going to take on a case where there's no insurance and the people are not more well off than these people are. So that meant that I was going to have to pay a lawyer $250 an hour or more to do my case. And I was so mad because that was the only justice I was going to get.
Right.
That's what I have done. So I filed a civil case, and then I met with Bob Bazat about updating the laws. And then he said, why didn't they prosecute this? And I'm like, I asked them, they wouldn't give me a reason at the prosecutor's office. They just said they weren't going to do it. And he's like, you need to call and talk to the assistant prosecutor. And so he had me do that. And she was out of town for a conference, I want to say for like a week or so. And then she finally got back with me, I want to say in August. And she said she was going to review it. And then they decided in September to file misdemeanor charges against the one of the owners.
Right.
So here we are, fast forward 6 months later or so, and where are things at?
He pled guilty in January to the run dog at large, and then in March there was a hearing that was set yesterday for the restitution of $12,000, almost $13,000 worth of restitution for Pearl's medical bills and my medical bills and like the expenses for her cremation. And we got it all yesterday. He agreed to it 100%. And I still have my civil suit going on against both the husband and the wife for my pain and suffering.
Right. And as you mentioned before, this couple, they're not well off.
No.
And so people might criticize or say, well, gosh, why, it's a tragedy that happened, but, I mean, come on now. And maybe the sense that you're looking to, capitalize on this tragedy that happened to your dog Pearl. And what do you say that when people say something like that? What's your response?
What I'm going to say, my response is this, that without any punishment, they were going to continue to do what they were going to do. I would not be surprised if they hadn't gotten another dog by the time that they had taken that one to get put to sleep. So this is to discourage them from ever doing anything like this again, because they were actually, I found out as I've gotten more reports, they were actually breeding dogs down there.
Okay.
At one point in time, they had 21 dogs living in a rental house.
Wow.
And so these dogs were running around the whole neighborhood.
Right. And not only, like you said, to deter them, I would say maybe this is a deterrent for others.
Hopefully others
Yeah.
will see that.
Pay attention, like, hey, this, putting aside the wrong and right of, your animal's killing a beloved family pet.
Well, the fact that this is going on with the breeding and everything else, that you have to take responsibility
Right.
for your pets in a certain way.
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. And that dog that killed Pearl had severely injured a gentleman in April the year before.
Right.
And they hadn't done anything. They didn't even add insurance to keep their, to protect themselves. They have the option to get insurance.
And did not, obviously.
And did not. Correct. And did not. Nope.
Right. And so, and again, this is, it's a little bit of justice. It doesn't bring Pearl back.
No.
But hopefully prevents this from happening again in the future.
Well, not only other people's pets, but people themselves, as you said.
right.
Correct. Yeah, because that dog, as I said, I didn't realize that until after we had been interviewed, when I talked to everybody that had been involved, when I was getting information for my civil case, what exactly had happened. And the lady's like, yeah, we were the ones that called the police initially because he almost got my grandson. I said, and that was just horrifying because
Right.
I was on the fence about actually suing them civilly when I had no other options, because I'm like, and my mother, God rest her soul, because she was a lawyer for 40 plus years. And I was telling her, because she was not doing very well, I said, they don't have any insurance. I don't think it's going to be worth it to sue them. And then she said to me, she's like, I don't care. She said, we're going to sue them and show them that they cannot do things like this.
Right. I mean, and as you said, you tried all the other avenues. This is really
Yeah.
the only one left open to
Yes.
you
Yes.
to try and do this. And so going back, like you said, you talked to State Representative Bob Bazat about
Yes.
this. Has that moved forward in terms of changing the law?
I haven't heard of anything official. Now, he did say that he is trying to work on it, and I will continue to follow up on this because I think that we need to still get that kind of change in there and change it at, at that level so that
Right.
people can get something more than what happened because I wouldn't be so mad about this if this had maybe been the first time that this had happened, but those dogs have been running wild for over a year.
And so I guess that sort of brings us to so for justice for Pearl is where do you go from here? Is it to really focus on making those legislative changes? Are you
Yes.
looking to do something more expand out maybe what you can do to help others?
And you know what, John? I would think that it would be kind of a combination of that because I would love to help anybody else that's kind of ran into this problem because not everybody has like the support that I had doing this. A lot of people don't have the financial support or the family or friend support that I had to keep going through this. I mean, at one point in time, I was kind of like, I'm just going to give up on this because obviously there is no justice that I'm ever going to get, and I'm going to go crazy. But I want to make sure that we get the legislature changed, and then maybe at one point in time, start offering help to people because there was a boy by Grand Rapids that was attacked the week before Pearl was killed. I don't know what kind of dogs they were because they never went into detail by a set of, I think, 2 dogs, and he was very badly injured, and they weren't able to charge the owners because the dogs didn't have a history.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and that is the tough part when you look at it. A one-time event, you may not have known that the dog was, had this in them to do that. So, as far as working on legislation for this, I would keep on Bob Bizat on that and any other.
Yes.
Any other representatives you can get your hands on and say, listen to me, let's see what we can do as far as getting something on the books. So when there is an answer when something like this, unfortunate incidents like this happen. So there is a place to go and a reference point.
Exactly, because otherwise with them, I mean, I know they had a GoFundMe and they were doing fairly well with that, but that child is going to be scarred for life.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not, and who knows what that person's going to go do. Because, I mean, the one thing that I've always found, and I shouldn't say that this is always in the case, but I remember that the case that we had where those 2 German Shepherds got out and killed the bull. And the people went and got another dog while their dogs were sitting in the pound waiting to have a trial.
Right.
And then that dog got loose and I believe did something to a sheep.
Yeah, so obviously, if there's no consequence, people people being people don't really take the lesson, and unless you really again hold their feet to the fire, and there is some consequence, and a lot of times the consequence is a financial one.
Exactly.
And if nothing else, you'll get their attention through their wallet.
Exactly.
If that's all you can do. Interestingly enough, I was doing some reading about this, and I think because what's happened to you and what happened to Pearl, this has happened many times over, all over.
Yes.
Many people have experienced this and have dealt with it in different ways. And I think it's interesting. Right now under the law, when we talk about legislation of the law, I mean, pets, animals are considered, especially they're considered property.
Yes.
And so when they're considered property under the law, they're put into a certain classification, and the law can only do so much and can only react in a certain way. And interestingly enough, when we talk about like animal rights, when you talk about maybe somehow finding a way to, and I know this is a bigger picture thing. This is not something that would be more immediate for Bob Bizat.
Yes, for sure.
But a bigger picture thing is to think about if we start to modify, especially domesticated pets, to say, wait a minute, maybe they need to be more than just property. Maybe they do have to have their own legal rights as sentient, individuals, that they do have a set of rights under the law. And in a way, by doing that, you actually provide a legal remedy because the dogs that did the mauling, again, Pearl would have, her rights in the sense of, and then the dogs that had done this as well, because the law would see them in a different manner. There would be obviously better tools to kind of deal with
Yes,
this. So
exactly.
it's an interesting discussion, and again, that's more of a big picture.
Well, right now, I think
Yes.
you look at it like it may be as if it were your child that
Yes.
harmed another child.
Right.
So therefore, the parent or the owner of the pet would be held responsible, which is where you're at right now. But there's not even that on the books as
No.
far as where you go from there. So Yeah, and let us keep us updated on.
I sure will.
If
Yeah,
anything
for sure.
comes legislation wise, and maybe it'll be named after Pearl.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice just to remember that she didn't die in vain.
Right.
Because that's what I was going to say. It's I'm not going to be that you were just a dog that died. It's like you were more than that. To me, she was my mother's emotional support animal. And
Right.
it's like, what is, I don't know. I mean, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I understand, what happens. You've got a lot of confusion going on in your life, and you get dogs, and you just can't take care of it, and then nobody wants to admit, hey, I'm in a situation where I can't handle these animals anymore.
Well, if you have
It's
that
like-
many, there's definitely an issue going on there. That's a whole
Yeah.
other
whole nother
situation.
Right,
But,
right.
for a person that has one or two dogs in their home and one of them gets away and happens to bite somebody or something, that's one thing you can be held responsible for. But when it becomes repetitive and uncontrollable,
Yes.
that seems like we have a situation that needs to be dealt with. So keep us
Yes,
updated.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I sure will. You guys have a great day.
Hey, you
Thank
too.
you for getting with me.
Of course.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Yeah. Letitia
Bye.
Spagnola over Justice for Pearl. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye.
absolutely.
And of course, Mike and John brought to you by Jordan Genso, the official Giggle Realtor. Jordan Genso with Remax Platinum, the official Giggle Realtor community servant, community realtor with over 15 years of experience in the real estate industry as a part of the Genso team. Jordan can help you with his knowledge of not only the area, but how to buy and sell a home better. Jordan Genso, give him a call today. That number 248-444-9777.
Yeah.
Do you have any made up Jordan?
No,
tidbits
actually,
for today?
Jordan put the thinking cap on.
All right. Well, he
And,
didn't like the breakdance.
No. Yeah. He was like, well, if you're going to start making up stuff. As we mentioned yesterday, the answer to Monday night's trivia question was 4 out of 5 people over 65 have one of these. The answer was a VCR. A couple of weeks ago, Jordan posted to his Facebook page that the Brighton District Library, of which he is a member of the board, has a VHS converter in their library of things. And this is an interesting term that libraries have made now, not just books or videos. You can rent devices and things like that. So this library of things concept, one of them is a VHS converter that you can rent from the library, easily transforming old family videos into digital format that you can keep on your computer or upload to YouTube. He's going to try to borrow that converter today when he stops at the library, and he is hoping to have a surprise for us on Friday.
Oh, I bet it is. Digital Roadhouse, huh? Because we were talking about Roadhouse yesterday. Oh, boy. Don't do it, Jordan.
I don't know. Again, the Library of Things at the Brighton District Library. So we're looking forward to that surprise on Friday, I think.
Well, you surprised me with that surprise.
Yeah, so it surprised me too. So of course, Jordan Genso, the official Giggle Realtor.
You can find him on Facebook, Jordan Genso, community servant, community realtor. Thanks to Jordan. You know what today is?
Wednesday.
Besides being
You said-
Wednesday,
you
I
said
said
it right at the top.
beginning of the show. It's Wednesday, the 28th. It's Vietnam Veterans Day,
Okay.
or Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans. So celebrate the veterans. Remember when they came home, it wasn't exactly a with open arms welcome back. So today, Vietnam Veterans Day, or Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans Day. It's also National Mom and Pop Business Owners Day. Coincidence?
We're a mom. Well, no, not really.
Well, Mom and Pop aren't here, but if they were,
Oh, yeah.
they'd say, you should probably get your pool supplies and water tested at a Mom and Pop operation.
So smooth.
Perhaps Roman's Pools and Supplies.
Perhaps Roman's Pools.
Was that smooth
Oh,
or what?
well.
Did I tie that all in together? or
You
what?
tied something together there.
I sure did. And you know what? If you have a college student or a young adult or even yourself want to work outdoors, Roman's Pools and Supplies are hiring.
Absolutely. It's a great summer job. Anyone 18 and over, just stop in Romans and apply. They've got a variety of positions to fill. Anytime I've ever gone into Romans, of course, get water sampled or pick up supplies or anything like that, they've always got a great crew of young people that are working there. And it seems like, it seems like kind of a fun place to work, actually. Sure. And you pick up some practical experience. So Romans Supplies and Service Columbus. Of course, if you're looking for a great summer job, give them a call. Also, of course, if you're a pool owner and you're looking for service and supplies and everything else, Romans Pools and Supplies is the place to go.
Yeah, and as John said, the water analysis and chemical supplies, a key part of their business. I know we've used them time and time again over the years. Getting the water tested, and then if you want to keep that balance so it keeps all your heaters and your filters in top-notch condition, because when things start to break down, you get corrosion in the pipes, and they'll take care of you, but it's going to be expensive. So getting that water tested, a key part of that, and that's a part of the things they do at Romans Pools and Supplies. 517-545-4555 in Howell, and in Brighton, 810-588-4460.
And online, romanspools.com.
That makes it really easy when you find them online and get all the details you need, hours and things of that nature, and book services as well. Today, the 29th. Are we at the 29th?
7th,
already?
8th. Yeah, 29th.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's Knights of Columbus Founders Day. The old KFC.
See, I used to hear people would say KFC, and I would think they were saying KFC, and I'd be like, "Oh, chicken."
Well, they have fish fries
They
on
do
Friday
have
nights
right.
during Lent.
Right. It's like, "Oh, we're going to KFC."
I'm a Knight of
No, we're going to the
Columbus.
KFC hall.
Yeah. Now,
Oh,
now the thing
okay,
is,
I
and I
guess.
don't know the history of the Knights of Columbus. I know, my dad was a member and wanted me to be a member of the KFC.
You didn't
So,
join?
No, I didn't. It seemed like a
You
place
didn't
for
want to hang around the old guys.
old people to go and play bingo. But the Knights of Columbus out of Ohio, I'm not sure if they're out of Ohio or not.
I don't
No,
think so.
you don't think so?
No, I don't think it's Columbus, Ohio. I think it's,
Just the Knights of
I think
Columbus.
it's based on Columbus.
Christopher
Yeah,
Columbus?
I believe.
KC.
I don't really know.
I could be right.
You could be?
Probably not.
So,
It's Smoke and Mirrors Day
oh,
for all the politicians.
or this show.
We don't have any mirrors here, do we? All right. 1564 on this date. What kind of videos are you watching there?
No, I'm just saying. You
okay.
said we don't have any mirrors here, and I'm like, well, look at
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious we don't have any freaking mirrors.
Because we'd be going. 1564, explorer Ponce de Leon spotted Florida. He said, "Look, Florida." Wasn't he looking for the Fountain of Youth?
Was that Ponce de Leon? Yeah,
I think it was Ponce de Leon, wasn't it?
yeah, I think you're right.
And he said, "Look, golf course community is there.
I named this Mar-a-Lago.
Look, the villages.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls in 1848 on this day stopped flowing for 30 hours because of an ice jam. Remember before we had in the history lesson that Niagara Falls was
Right.
out of water. Wasn't on the same date.
No.
Coca-Cola in 1886 went on sale. It was launched as an, quote, esteemed brain tonic and intellectual beverage.
Ooh.
I'm getting smarter with my Coca-Cola.
Sure you are.
And there was cocaine in that Coca-Cola.
Well, I feel smarter.
I'm moving awfully
I'm
fast.
certainly getting a lot of chores done today.
My heart was really thumping.
Then I take these other pills that have morphine in them.
1975.
I go to sleep.
Speaking of druggies, Led Zeppelin had all 6 of their albums in the U.S. Top 100 chart in the same week on
Wow.
this day, 1975.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of love.
Knights of Columbus, by the way, started in Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut. So was not Columbus.
Really?
Ohio. Yeah.
New Haven.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Why did they call it the Knights of Columbus then?
Well, I think, like I said, it was after Columbus.
I don't realize the tie there. I guess I'm just not getting it.
American Catholic priest Michael McGivney founded the Knights of
Oh,
Columbus.
McGivney.
St. Mary's Church, 1882, New Haven, Connecticut. It was a mutual benefit society for Catholic immigrants.
We'll call it the KFC. 1983, the first laptop computer
Extra crispy, please.
was launched in the U.S. First laptop computer, 1983. Now you have a pretty compact when you
Right.
think about it. Laptop, it's pretty thin.
Yeah. It's my.
I just wonder how
iMac.
how big the laptop was in 1983.
Right. It's like, this is on my lap.
I need a cushion. Hey, could you plug me in? I can't get up. Say 1986, Austrian singer
Yeah.
Falco started a three-week run at number 1 with Rock Me Amadeus.
Now, don't start singing it, or they're
what-
going to put a copyright claim on
That's
our video.
No, Rock Me Amadeus.
Right.
Amadeus.
So, be
Amadeus.
careful.
Well, we didn't have any music behind it, so I think it's okay.
I just didn't want to upset the YouTube.
Yeah, they get upset when you.
Yesterday's show, we ended with a brief little
You ended
clip
with
that
your
had
TikTok
little pump
funny-
up the jam, just had a few seconds of it, and then they all, copyright claim.
is there a chicken or a turkey running?
this is the YouTube line. Okay. Fine.
Send them to the Colonel. The Republic of Ireland in 2004 became the first country in the world to ban smoking in all workplaces, including bars and restaurants. That
All
really
right.
ticked off the smoking Irish.
Well,
Well, they did it after St. Patty's Day. Although they don't
Wait.
really celebrate it like we do.
no,
do
they don't,
No,
but still.
no, they have
Kind of
potatoes.
interesting. You know, it is. I was thinking that what a different world it is now from when
Sure.
we grew up, where you just smoke in the operating room,
on airplanes and stuff like that.
anywhere, it didn't matter. You had smoke blown in your face, and you're a 5-year-old.
The doctor-
You're like, okay,
Scalpel, cigarette, light.
You'd see 7-year-olds with like camels rolled up in their sleeves. Anyway, I got to learn cursive. What the hell? Damn school.
The doctor said it was healthy. It cleared out, it killed bacteria. The menthol was the real one that worked. That's your 2-cent history lesson for today. I think we learned a little something.
Oh, we learned
the
so
Knights
much.
of Columbus weren't from Columbus.
Right. And we
Ohio.
learned that the YouTube lawyers go.
Hey, Chicky Baby. That's your 2-cent history lesson.
All right. No
For
refunds.
today. Rich Perlberg joining us tomorrow.
He is
for
indeed.
The Less You Know.
Hopefully his vehicle is working
You know
well,
what,
which it would be if he took it to Murphy's Family Auto.
Sure would.
Talk
Get that
about
clunker taken in there,
smooth
Perlberg.
transmission.
Transmission.
That's right.
And transition.
That's right.
Look at you.
Transition to the transmission
The
at Murphy
gears are
Family
all
Auto.
working fine.
Give them a call, 517-552-3040. They're online, murphysfamilyauto.com.
You know what tomorrow is too? It's opening day.
Is it opening day?
Well, not home opener, but it's Tigers' first game of the season.
Really? All right. I knew
Yeah.
that they were pushing it.
They're
I guess
playing in
I
Florida,
would've
so they
thought
don't have to worry about crappy
It's
weather.
not Friday. I thought it was- okay.
It's tomorrow. How about that? Last year when we first talked to Rich, I think we talked baseball.
I think you're right. I have a feeling we'll be talking baseball tomorrow.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, I'm not in the know on that, but what else is new?
I don't know either.
All right.
No one's in the know. I don't even
That's-
think Rich is in the know. That's why we call it the less you know.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's the less you know.
Well, no, it is the less you know.
Are we going to end the show now?
Do you think we should?
don't use TikTok.
Okay. Pump up the. All right.
Yeah, you know what it was? They were keeping us down. The man was keeping us
Yeah,
down
they
because
were.
he hated that.
Yeah,
stupid
they
song.
were.